you people, come nearer, I show you how proper harvesting is being done. I told you the other time that when you harvest coke, you don't pull, because when you are pulling, you destroy the cushion. A cushion is that area which develops flowers. This is gold. When somebody really harvests this one, don't throw them away, because they say coke was defined as being God's food, according to literature behind there.
Cocoa directly supports over 15,000 households in Uganda. Fermentation is one of the vital steps that ensure the development of chocolate flavor precursors and thus determines the quality of resultant chocolate and price offered to farmers.
I am working for a company called African Trade Winds. We are buying cocoa from different locations in Uganda, and we have been buying cocoa beans from Mr. Luanga. He's a farmer himself, but he also buys from the area, other farmers in the area.
Major exporters in Uganda do bulk the cocoa from the small-scale farmers to do the bulk fermentation.
The currently used fermentation methods require huge volumes of cocoa pulp to achieve the desired quality, leaving small-scale farmers with no option but to sell their cocoa at a low price.
Those boxes you see, the big ones, they accommodate 1,000 kilograms. This one accommodates 700.
Many of the small-scale farmers do not have the techniques or the technologies to process our cocoa appropriately to meet the export standards. They do harvest of around 40 to 60 kilograms. Yet they need to travel long distances to take to the bulkers who will do the fermentation. The technology of fermentation using the tower boxes, it is laborious. People have to carry large volumes of cocoa, take to the first box to do the fermentation. Given the fact that they cannot do on-farm fermentation, they end up selling fresh pulp to the exporters, and they are losing a lot of money. We want to increase their capacity to do ferment their cocoa on farm, such that they earn that extra pay. We are trying to mimic the processes that cocoa undergo when it is being fermented using the story fermentation boxes.
Here we have been taking 7 days to ferment a cocoa.
So we mimicked the same for this single fermentation box. The first 2 days we leave the cocoa untampered with. After the second day we do the turning using the hand crank, and that is done for the subsequent days.
And the single box just take 4 days, as I have told you. Dry it, say, for 4 days. Within 8 days of cocoa is already with him.
During cocoa fermentation, a lot of waste is generated that can be detrimental to the environment by affecting soil health. Under a public-private partnership, the National Cocoa Research Institute, NACORI, in collaboration with private sector actors and with support from the Science Granting Council's initiative, SGCI, and the Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, is tackling the above challenges by designing a single cocoa fermentation box that handles smaller volumes of 40 kilograms and more, and a stainless steel press for extraction of juice from cocoa pulp that can be fermented to generate value-added products like wines and ethanol.
One of the objectives that was very key to this project was identifying yeast strains that would be suited to fermenting the cocoa to a perfect quality. Especially now when it comes to the tower box and the issues around it, our intervention would then be a smaller box that can take smaller volumes but is also user-friendly.
This mucilage is so acidic and it corrodes the environment, which of course destroys the nutritive value of the soils.
Our quality is really good because we produce it organically. So the markets as South America, Ghana, they are applying chemicals. Ours, the exporters, The interest they really want in Uganda is, first of all, our cocoa is organic, and secondly, the quality is really high given that we produce it at a higher altitude.
We are more sure about, because it is happening centrally. So the quality is much more uniform when it's happening under a controlled place like this here.
This is an expected boost to the income-generating capacity of cocoa farmers and lessens the negative impact on the environment.
We also need to upscale this project to other cocoa producing districts in the country.
We will be able, I think, to file the IP, and this we expect we'll do in guidance with the National Council of Science and Technology guidance. Yeah, we'll consult them much more there.
The narrow policy seems to be leaning more towards the public interests. So we want to see whether now the issue of how to harmonize the public and private interests within narrow itself has been now resolved within that policy. So now we can be able to engage boldly with the private people.
Farmers will be more drawn to growing the crop if they know they can process it on ground by themselves and earn a higher premium.
If you are in an area that where you can grow cocoa, it is one of the best paying commodities or the produce that you can have. It is paying better than other things that you can find.
This fermentation box, now it makes it even easier because the fermentation, the farmer has been carrying 800 kilograms to a fermentary box.
Whenever Mr. Luanga is fermenting it through his system with the boxes, we are sure that it has been properly fermented. We take care of the quality, and then we're exporting to Far East and to Europe and wherever else we're exporting to.